me tell you something incredible. They say, give me control of a nation's money, and I don't care who makes the laws. And let me tell you, that's true. Believe me, I know money better than anyone. Back in 2009, a student from Norway, nice guy, probably very smart. Probably not as smart as me, but still. He stumbles upon a little document online. It was about this new thing called Bitcoin. Just for fun, he bought 5,000 coins for $25. 25 bucks! That's less than I spend on a cheeseburger, folks! He forgets about them. 4 years later, boom! Bitcoin goes up 1,000%. Suddenly, his $25 is worth $800,000. Tremendous. Really tremendous. And then, in another story, some guy named James, very unlucky guy, total disaster. He throws away a hard drive with 7,500 Bitcoins. Gone. Straight to the garbage dump. Probably the most expensive trash in human history. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars buried under old pizza boxes and broken microwaves. Sad. Now, stories like these are everywhere. Some people, they become millionaires overnight. Others lose everything in a week chasing easy money. And some forget their passwords. Can you imagine? You're sitting on a fortune and boom, no password. That's like locking yourself out of Trumpig Tower. Not good. So, people ask, is crypto just a bubble, or is it the future? Why do some countries buy it and others hate it, while secretly trying to make their own digital money? Well, folks, I'm going to explain it all. Buckle up, this is going to be huge. So let's go back. It's September 2008, New York City. Big buildings, expensive suits, but guess what? Disaster! Lehman Brothers collapses. Now, if you don't know, Lehman Brothers was one of the oldest and biggest investment banks in America. They dealt with mortgages, stocks, bonds, you name it. They were supposed to be too big to fail, but they made terrible bets on risky housing loans. When the market crashed, their $600 billion empire went bankrupt overnight. People walking out with boxes in their hands. Very sad. And suddenly, biggest financial crisis since the Great Depression. Millions lose their jobs. Whole countries get wrecked. Pension funds lose trillions. Banks played games with mortgages, made billions, and then who saved them? The government. That's right, with your money. And you know what they did? They just printed more money. Poof! Just like magic. Which means your savings worth less. Inflation skyrocketed. It was a total scam, folks. A total disgrace. So some genius out there said, what if we had money that wasn't controlled by banks or governments? Impossible, right? Wrong. That's when this mysterious guy, Satoshi Nakamoto, shows up. Nobody knows who he is. Could be one guy, could be 100. Maybe it's me, maybe not. Just kidding. Or am I? He created Bitcoin, and here's the thing. It's not controlled by any bank, not by any politician, not even by Sleepy Joke Bidon. It runs on something called blockchain. Now, blockchain sounds very complicated, folks, but don't worry. I've brought in my beautiful wife, Melony, to explain it very simply, very elegantly.
Imagine. Everyone has come to Donut Trumpig's big rally. It is a very important event. And there, I give my husband a beautiful pink donut with sprinkles. Everyone sees it. But how do we remember this forever? It is very simple. Instead of one person writing it down, everyone in the crowd takes out their little notebook and writes, Melony gave Donut a pink donut. Now everyone has the same record. Now imagine one person tries to cheat. He erases my name in his notebook and writes his own. He wants everyone to think that he gave the donut. But it will not work. Because when he stands up and says, look, it was me who gave the donut, thousands of other people will simply hold up their notebooks and show the truth. One false record against thousands of real ones. Now just imagine that everyone who has a notebook decides to classify all the entries in their diaries so that it would be incredibly difficult to replace them. To do this, everyone uses a program that replaces each record with a set of incomprehensible characters, hash. The next entry will be classified in the same program, but that's the difficulty, friends. To classify the next record, we take the hash of the previous record and insert a new record next to it. Boom! A new hash has appeared. And so it is with each subsequent entry. Of course, you can try to declassify the recordings. Let's imagine that you've managed to unwind the entire chain and replace the donut entry. But remember, friends, Everyone who attended the big rally has a copy of this diary. That is blockchain. A shared, honest notebook that no one can fake because everyone is watching it together. It is simple, and very secure.
See? Isn't that wonderful? No one explains this better than Melony. So, miners are not those guys with dirty faces and pickaxes. No, computer miners. They compete in solving puzzles, adding new blocks to the chain, and earning bitcoins. Imagine that the pages in the notebooks have run out. And in order for everyone to make a new entry, someone has to add pages to the notebooks. Boom! Whoever adds the page, new block, first gets a reward. This was 2009. At first, Bitcoin was worth less than a penny. Then, in 2010, a guy bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. That's right, folks, 2 pizzas. Probably not even the best pizza, not New York pizza. And today, those Bitcoins would be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Worst pizza deal in history, even worse than Domino's. And that's how it all began. So what is money anyway? For centuries, it was cows, rocks, shiny gold, then paper backed by gold, then just paper. And finally, today, it's whatever governments say it is, which means they can print as much as they want. That's why Bitcoin is different. Only 21 million coins ever. You can't print more. It's digital gold, folks. Very strong, very rare. Now, is Bitcoin perfect? No. It's slow, only 7 transactions per second. Visa does 24,000, but that's why new coins came out. Litecoin, Ripple, Ethereum. Brilliant idea, smart contracts. You don't need lawyers, don't need banks. Believe me, lawyers hate it. And then came ICOs, NFTs, some real, some scams. People selling monkey pictures for millions. Monkey pictures. I love monkeys, but folks, that was crazy. A bubble, big bubble. Still, behind all this chaos, the technology is real. Even governments are now making their own digital currencies. Why? Because they love control. They say it's about convenience, but really, they want to see every dollar you spend. Not good. So where are we heading? Into the future, folks. Digital money, blockchain, crypto. It's already here. Some countries embrace it, some fight it. But one thing is sure, this is history in the making. And let me finish with this. If you want to learn more about crypto, about making money online, and if you want the best, the funniest, the most luxurious explanations, you hit that subscribe button, folks. Smash it like Joe Biden smashes the economy. Leave your questions in the comments. Give a like. I worked very hard on this, almost as hard as I work on my golf swing. Tremendous effort.